What we're doing is we have men already stationed outside DC as a nuclear option in case they attempt to remove the president illegally. We will step in and stop it. And we're going to be there to also help secure the coming rally this Saturday and your caravan coming in. So I've got good men on the ground already. Did a leaders recon there last week, and we're sorting out where we're going to be staging, and we'll be there. We'll be inside DC. We'll also be on the outside of DC armed, prepared to go in.
Well, I can tell you he's not going to be on the outside anytime soon. Yeah, since that sentence came down, oops. The rest we know is history from that videos. Because since January 6th happened, he was arrested, he was tried, and now he is serving the longest sentence of any defendant so far who was busted for 1/6. And of course, for Rhodes, he was convicted of seditious conspiracy. Check this out from the AP. Rhodes, 58, is the first person convicted of seditious conspiracy in the January 6, 2021 attack to receive his punishment, and his sentence is the longest handed down so far in the hundreds of capital riot cases. Perhaps more importantly is the designation of Rhodes' crimes, though. In a first for a January 6 case, a judge agreed with the Justice Department that Rhodes' actions should be punished as terrorism, which increases the recommended sentence under federal guidelines. That decision could foreshadow lengthy sentences down the road for other far-right extremists, including former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio, who have been convicted of the rarely used charge. But even after all that, well, Rhodes has no remorse. Rhodes did not use his chance to address the judge to express any remorse or appeal for leniency, but instead claimed to be a political prisoner, criticized prosecutors and the Biden administration, and tried to play down his actions. It's always so interesting to me, these individuals, where they are and what they are doing, especially because, as I recall, Rhodes is like a lawyer, like an Ivy Leaguer, like he is extremely well educated, but apparently that don't mean he got common sense. And speaking of lacking in common sense, well, you remember this dude, right? Jacob Chansley, AKA wasn't it the QAnon shaman or Q shaman? Yeah, Q question for crazy. Because after he was sentenced to 41 months in prison in November of 2021, well, he pleaded guilty to that federal charge of obstruction of an official proceeding. And now that he has been out, well, Chansley apparently wants to be in the spotlight yet again because he recently released this bizarre video.
So, in the spirit of Christ's example, I would like to use this official statement to make it extremely clear that I have no animosity or hatred toward the United States federal government. And I have forgiven my captors, and I pray for them, because that is what Christ would do. The next part of my journey entails using the power of patience and peace to spread the truth, and to do so in the spirit of a Christ-like forgiveness.
You know what? I really wish Christ would come back and whoop his ass, because that man is just absolutely ignorant and ridiculous. And the fact that he has a nerve to be out here using any kind of cultural appropriation vehicle he wishes. He has that indigenous like dream catcher behind him. On behalf of all indigenous people for which I cannot speak, I just really wish I could reach through the screen and pop him one. Violence is never the answer, but sometimes it is correct and course correct. Mondale.
Listen, this video is wrong on all levels except for people hustling the Trump voters, right? He probably could get elected in his district right now just because of who and what he was, because how they feel. This is disgusting. The suit, the black shirt, the tie. Listen, I am horrified that this person, first of all, why didn't you do more time? Why are you out and people are still locked up in federal penitentiaries for marijuana? How are you walking the street when marijuana black and brown people still being sentenced for marijuana usage and selling? I am disgusted with our government. The fact that you can get 41 months and do very little and come home. And now you're trying to say that your videos or your attack on the federal government will be peaceful and Christ-like. Nothing about America and the people that showed up on January 6th to attack America is Christ-like. I be damned.
Not a thing, I swear. It is just the hypocrisy is surreal. And also seeing it play out in the discriminatory weaponization of the justice system, as you've noted. Who gets these long prison sentences for these minuscule nonviolent crimes, yet you have individuals who try to overthrow our government. And people actually died, and yet everyone's like, oh no, it was nothing other than a rambunctious tea party. Get the hell out of here.